Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So I've got the overnight highs up here, overnight lows down here. These are our key levels. So starting off, we have this push down. After forming the overnight high, we push down, we break, and then we can expect a new low. Because when a downtrend has a break, we can expect prices to attempt to make a new low. And so here we have downtrend, break, and then notice we have this push down here. So that's the first attempt lower. Now we can expect a second attempt lower because that's how price moves in twos. That's how second entries are formed. So downtrend, break, first attempt lower, and it starts getting choppy here. And then you get this two-legged correction here, breaking out of this range. Most breakouts fail. It's a breakout of this range, and we can expect it to fade back into this range, which is the perfect area for it because we're also expecting a second leg down to try to make a new low here. So that's perfect entry for it. I didn't mind pushing it a tick past because, once again, we were expecting a second leg down. We have this first leg, break, second leg, right after that second entry, fading this small range right here. Perfect area. We push lower, we make a new low, and we reach the overnight lows here. So we have this larger measured move in play, see here, but we don't quite reach it. We just kind of start getting choppy at the overnight low. And then we reverse higher here. We get this first entry short, second entry short, two clear legs up, and then it kind of just gets choppy. And it's not off of anything here, so there's really no reason to enter short in this area. We kind of just start going sideways. We push below the EMA. It stays choppy. We push back above, push back below. There's no entries, but we do start forming this range right here. It's pretty clear. And so here, you could try to find something because it was right at that previous support level. Notice it was kind of forming support there, and then it started finding resistance right there, and you get a first entry short, second entry short, but you don't get any kind of good bar. It's clearly not a good signal bar there. So anyway, we push lower here, we push back lower, we get choppy again, and you don't want to enter short on this because it's right into this range low here, so there's just no way. And then we push higher, and then there's really no entries in this whole range. But then we do push lower here, and then after you take off down right from here, you can look for a larger downtrend in play. That's where I drew this larger trend, and it fits perfectly off those lows there. And so we push lower here, we get this lower high, but it rushes back into the overnight low because when you break out, just like when you break out of this small range, you can expect a fade. When you break out of the larger range here, the overnight range, you can expect a fade. And so we have this first attempt to fade, then we do have this small second attempt to fade, which you can often look for a short entry to continue with the breakout on the second attempt to fade, except I don't like it here because this was right after reaching this measured move here because we didn't reach it at first. So we just met this large measured move, and as soon as we reached it, we spiked back up into the overnight low, and you would really want to see a clear second attempt at fading, like one that's actually relative in size to this. I mean, you can tell that it's part of the same two-legged move there, but you would really want to see like a significant attempt higher right after reaching a measured move like that before entering short directly into it. So I was not going to enter here, but it does plummet down here, and we continue lower. And then at this point, you're entering short directly into this double bottom. You don't want to do that. But we do continue lower, and we correct here. We reach the trend line here. So we get a third bounce off the high of this trend line. Notice that's the third bounce here. There's no way to get short in it. It's just a huge spike up, first entry, and then even when you do close out of this, it's you can expect a possible attempt higher. Not to mention, once again, it's just a first entry, so a very strong push up first entry. So that's not a reason to go short. We push lower here. We kind of just chop in this area here. Now, this trade right here, I took this loss. I wasn't quite focusing. I kind of got trapped the same way as I did yesterday, which I didn't make a video yesterday, but I took a similar loss where I shorted into a trend line. I don't think I have it. I think I removed my drawing. I don't know. But I took a loss like this yesterday where I had entered short and I didn't quite realize there was a trend line. And then that's exactly what happened here today. So I entered short right into this trend line, and I got it right after. Now, I noticed in the Discord, some people actually were on the right side of the market here. They went long here, which this is, after it closes above the overnight low here, this is a good place to go long because you can still expect a fade for the overnight low. You can definitely still expect a fade. And on a bigger, and so here you have this downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, failure. So when it spikes back above the overnight low like that, you're expecting a fade, but you're also at this point expecting a failure at making a new low for this downtrend because you already have 2 attempts at a new low. It's not quite measured, but it spiked back above the overnight low at that point. So you're not exactly going to expect it to play out completely. So if you had entered on something like this, which I wouldn't enter before the overnight low at this point. Like, I don't like entering on that bar there, but if you had entered on something like this, just for 1-to-1, because this would be a huge entry, then I do think that looks pretty good. But yeah, I missed out on that. I noticed some people got a similar entry. They entered a little bit lower from what I saw. But yeah, that looks good right there to go long, but I did get trapped there, so let me put that back. Anyway, so if you, at this point right here, if you could have gotten in with a limit order, then it would have been good. If you, as long as you can get out before this trend line right here, it would have been good. But yeah, anyway, so it's a good area. It's an all right area, but I didn't really notice the trend line. I didn't use a limit order like I should have. So anyway, it's one of those areas where you can kind of find trades in both sides, because at this point, the reason for this trade, which I didn't really explain my reasoning for it, which was we had this measured move in play, first attempt to fade here, second attempt to fade the overnight low here, and then it looks like it's failing, and then this is a lower high to complete this measured move, but once again we had this larger trend in play. So anyway, we push up here, and then this is where I got this right here. It's a 1-to-2 trade. We have this measured move here, leg up, break, second leg up. We reached that measured move. It spiked up right here, and we overshot this skinny trend just to show it's a very strong move, which symmetry had to do with this. A symmetry trade is when price spikes in one direction, it'll often spike back down in the opposite direction, and that's, I'm specifically talking about for very, very sharp moves. And so we had a very sharp move higher here, reached that measured move, we retested it right here, and I actually entered a little bit lower than that. I entered right there. And then I did lower my target a tick or so. Yeah, 1 tick. I lowered it to 37 to get out right before the overnight low, just to be safe. And so that was 19 tick risk, 37 tick target. That's basically 1-to-2. It's 1 tick less than 1-to-2. But once again, we reached that measured move. We spiked up. We can expect a possible symmetry as long as we get a good setup, which we did get a good setup here. We retested that level right there. I just wanted to make it exact. We retested that measured move level, and so we can expect, a short after we get this push down here. So that's why I like that right there. Also overshot this right here, which overshoots lead to breaks. So it's really a perfect area to go short. Anyway, so I did want to just get out before the overnight low here. But the symmetry started from even below that, so it was not surprised it shot out very strongly here and made a double bottom down there. So anyway, we continue lower here. We go into this downtrend here. There's really no short entries on the way down. If you didn't get in on this, there's really no entries down here. It's just choppy. And then here, it's still choppy. We do break out, pull back, then it gets really choppy. No way to get a clean entry there. And then here, you do get a bounce off that key entry point, but which it's actually not exact, so you barely don't actually, but you didn't reach the EMA, which is the main point there. You continue lower, you break out of that trend, so now you have this on a bigger picture. You have a downtrend, break, push to a new low, and then this right here was the failure to make a second leg, because just like here, when this downtrend had a break 2 legs to a new low, you can expect that on a bigger picture. Even though you make a new low, you can still expect at least an attempt at a second leg. And so here, this was the failed second attempt lower. Let me draw this. So what you could expect is something like this. Downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower. Very big picture. And then it failed right here. When it had this attempt lower, you can see these 2 smaller legs down, and then it just rushed back above. And then you have this entry right here. I missed out on this trade right here. But it was definitely a really good entry. It looks so good. But anyway, so uptrend, break. On a smaller picture, you'd see uptrend, break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher, which is perfectly confluent with the larger picture failure here. So anyway, it took off from there. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Join the Discord if you want. I have it in the description. I noticed some people got this trade right here, which I was very happy for. I left the computer for a bit, and I came back, and it had already filled the target at this point, and I go into the Discord, and I see that people took this trade, so I'm happy for them. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Hope y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all next time.